Hey everyone, it's Laura Myers and Venus Tantric for CMS-Connected. We're joined by Claudio of Teknion. So tell us first your position with them and then also what you guys do.
So I'm Senior Manager of Digital Corporate Marketing at Teknion. I manage a team that is made up of graphic designers and web designers, 3D and content managers. And we do everything from manage the websites to social media to a lot of the branding that comes out of the department.
Yeah.
And we build pretty things.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how are you guys utilizing Sitefinity?
Sitefinity currently manages 3 of our public-facing websites. We have 3 brands, and we manage those brand sites with Progress Sitefinity. We have a 4th one coming, which is it's through authentication. It's a dealer portal that we're also going to be managing with Sitefinity.
Yeah.
And it's not just Sitefinity. We work with Binder, which is our DAM, and the 2 of them are integrated so that a lot of the work to load the Sitefinity environment is done dynamically through the API that we've integrated.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And in the keynote this morning, you were saying some exciting things you guys are doing, sort of like leading the way with digital. So tell us a little bit, an example of that.
Yeah, we're poking around. I guess emerging technologies. We want to look at bringing 3D to another level. So we have on our team the capabilities to create 3D walkthroughs, 3D renders. Wouldn't it be great also if we could extend, let's say, the reach of our showrooms using technology like VR or AR? Mm-hmm. We've looked at doing things like integrating a bit of digital into our products themselves. So Teknion does office furniture, and we have height adjustable desks, and we've done things like create an app that helps the desk go up and down. So wouldn't it be nice if it did more than that? If a user arrived at their workstation and the app, remembered the settings for that workstation. Maybe the app could also measure how long the user's been standing or sitting for. Maybe the app could also, as buildings are getting smarter, figure out what HVAC settings or what lighting settings should be appropriate to the user. Yeah. So these are all really new for us. We're just beginning to look at these things, and we usually start them as collaborations with some of our customers. Like a tech company will come to us and say, "Wouldn't it be great if?" And so we'll create a POC to at least prove that it's a possibility. And half the time, they might even take the idea and develop it further themselves.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would like to touch upon on 2 things from your presentation this morning. First thing, you were talking about you guys are utilizing marketing capabilities such as personalization, optimization. And the second thing, you're coming actually from B2C, and now you're in B2B market. So I was wondering, is it really scary? Is it really successful when you are utilizing marketing capabilities in B2B market?
So to answer your first question, we don't do automatic personalization yet using our CMS platform, but we do set up various user journeys. So depending on whether you're a customer or an interior designer, an architect, or an engineer, you have different jobs you're going to do on our sites. Mm-hmm. So we have the different user journeys set up, and then what we're also working on is a way for you to customize your own journey in a more granular way, where in a logged in state, you can star items across the site, and you create your own dashboard, your own homepage of the items you use most often. Mm-hmm. And then we as marketers can kind of just sneak in the messages we have to force people to see. Yeah. We send out memos and people's emails. They're emails. We're good at ignoring emails, right?
Yeah.
So this way we know they're up there, and we know that the message is up there. So that's how we're personalizing. I think journeys. It's a little bit more. It's a little more traditional in some ways, and it's entirely manual. Well, not manual, but the user can personalize it themselves. And then to answer your question about moving from B2C to B2B, I worked in B2C, and moving to B2B was a bit scary. I will be honest, because a lot of what I learned as a marketer growing up in B2C didn't apply, or applied in a funny way, or our industry hadn't even woken up to the idea of, I spent a long time, my first year or two at the company, even just trying to prove that social media was a channel we should adopt.
Yeah.
And I won't say how long I've been there because it's going to take, but anyway, it wasn't that long ago. So, I think I've now realized that there's some pros and cons. One, because some of these things haven't been tested in B2B, there's not a real benchmark that you can point to and say, we have to be this way.
Yeah.
You can draw out your own path, and you can sort of pave your own way, and you can test, within reason and cheaply, and you fail fast and you learn quick, and you move on and you try the next thing. So there is that pro. There's almost, if that was going to be my advice to anyone asking that question of themselves, find themselves in a B2B environment, is, yes, there's all these cons that you're going to immediately think you're seeing, but there's pros because you can write your own path.
Yeah.
We use social now as an extension of our marketing efforts, and we're trying to move into social as an extension of our sales efforts. So actually empowering our sales teams and our dealer network to use social at a very micro level. You don't need 100, 200 followers. You don't need 1,000 followers. You just need the people who you want to keep top of mind.
Yeah.
Following you, and just this way they'll remember that you exist.
Yeah.
Our sales cycles are very long. People, may not be in touch for months, and this way they know what we're up to. They know what this salesperson might be up to. So that's one way we're kind of moving. So I'm not going to claim that we're reinventing social, but we're reinventing what I thought social to be, which was big net. As many as possible. More is more.
Yeah.
And then another way is, we have a tiny presence on Pinterest, right? But we developed it because the interior designers and architects that we were working with were saying we really want to use this as a tool to build our mood boards and sort of just build inspiration for our project. And so instead of using it as a marketing tool, we actually use it as a sales tool. And so you'll actually find it in the resources section of our website, and you can visit a Pinterest board or a Pinterest page that is organized by warm reds or cool blues, like the way a designer might think, versus here's what's newest in our product.
That's actually smart. It's like catalog.
Yes.
It is on Pinterest.
Yes.
Yeah.
But try explaining that to your execs when you've already taught them what your bounce rate should be and what's a good bounce rate, and then you're sending people off the site to a different site, and you're like, but this is good.
You're like,
it's
it's
the
a good thing.
opposite of what I said, but it's good. I promise.
It will work. My last question, from the digital integration point, you were talking about you guys are integrating other software with Sitefinity. So how do you find Sitefinity when it comes to integration, those platforms?
We have an excellent developer. Our partner for Sitefinity, this is the plug for Visible Online. They're fantastic. They have done a lot for us that hadn't been done before, and they were really honest, we don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try, and this is how we think we can make it work. And so far, so good. They've been really, really great. So Binder was a big one for us. The integration with Binder, which is our DAM, allowed us to move from a very bottlenecked management model for our content, and we have so much content. There's 35,000 images, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We're a very content-heavy company. We run 40 gigabytes just out of the DAM alone every day.
Everything
that's
is
mostly
visual,
images.
so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what we've moved to is we have our new model is about 50 people being able to contribute content into the DAM. They don't have to understand where that content should live on the public sites. We've done that thinking. They just check off what is this image or this document for, and they just run down, they say, these are its uses, these are the people who should be able to see it if they're logged in, these are the geographies it applies to, and then it auto-populates all the different touch points that we've attached it to on the site. So, we'll say this page is basically a window into the following filters inside the DAM, and it's going to be organized, let's say sorted by most newest, or in some pages it might be alphabetical, whatever is appropriate to that type of content. It automatically manifests based on what's inside the DAM, and it's super fast because you put it in the DAM and it could be there. I mean, we create some don't tell our users. We create some. Yeah, right. Who's recording this?
Don't tell everyone, but tell everyone.
And it's so we do have some gates in place. Because it's funny. Binder itself hasn't developed to the point where we wanted it at the granularity of the gates that we want to attach to the different file types. So we've just used its filter system to be the gate itself, meaning you put a file inside Binder, and you promote it using one of the filter sets to this should be on the public site, this should be on the portal, the dealer portal, and then that can be filtered out by the content manager, and they could say, okay, well, we've had these many files added this week. These look legit. We're going to give them the extra filter set that actually puts them on the site. So without that filter set that only they have access to, that file can't be made public to anybody. And then they can use a different filter set to say, these need to go back to the content owners for approval because they don't fit branding guidelines, or this maybe is redundant with something else that's been put in the system, or this looks like an older version of file that's already there, or any reason that this doesn't seem to be correct at all, or we don't sell this product anymore. There was a product memo put out a few weeks ago, and actually this specific piece is mentioned in this image, so we need to
sort of a quality check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, perfect. Well, that's all
the questions we have.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been great.